Hi, this is Mish Hancock, and you are listening to MichMash, a place where I get to talk to the weird, wacky, wonderful people of this world, people I adore and want to know more about. Today, my guest is Tishaura Jones. Tishaura is the first woman to hold the office of treasurer in St. Louis and the founder of a citywide children's savings program. Learn how making small investments in savings accounts today can lead to bright, secure futures for your kids. Hi, Tishaura.
Hello, Mish.
So we got to meet because you did an amazing talk at TEDx Gateway Arch.
Yes, thank you. That was great.
It was
a great
so
experience.
fun. So tell me about it. What was the experience like for you?
It took me a little bit out of my comfort zone because I speak in front of people all the time.
All the time, yeah.
But never have I had to memorize like the whole thing, and it was 15 minutes long.
Right.
But it was one of those experiences where I felt like I had to have it in order to push myself to do different things.
Right.
I'm always open to new experiences. So it was a great experience to have. Learned a lot about, slides and presentations. I've done those before, but just how to make them more impactful. And to make presentations more impactful. So I really loved having those lessons.
I love hearing that, and it's very true. All the speakers, every single speaker that has gone through has said, oh my gosh, I learned so much. It's such a different way of speaking.
Yes.
It's completely different. And memorizing it, wow. I know, we ask a lot, don't we? It's a lot of time.
Yeah, it's a lot of time, but now I have 5 new friends.
and more. And it's
right.
just going to keep happening.
Yeah.
So we are right now editing all the talks,
Yes.
right? But once those talks start getting out, you'll have lots of friends around the world, right? So I love it. So let's talk about, what an accomplishment, what a cool thing about being treasurer. What has that experience been like for you?
So the treasurer is the most unique elected official in the country because not only am I the chief cash management, banking, and investment officer for the city, I am the parking supervisor.
Really?
Yes, this antiquated law back in the 1950s, the treasurer went to the state legislature and said, hey, I want to be the parking supervisor. And they said, okay.
It just stuck. That makes sense. Yeah.
Okay.
Treasury, parking, gotcha. You're in.
Yeah, because, St. Louis, we always have to be unique and different. And so our government structure is unique and different.
Yes.
In that we're our own city and our own county.
Right. Yes.
Right. Because of that, we have city elected officials or municipal elected officials and what's called county elected officials for the county of the city of St. Louis.
Right.
And I am a county elected official, which means my office is a creature of state government.
Okay.
But because I'm also the treasurer, or I am the treasurer is a municipal function, so I have both. I have
sounds like you have to
responsibilities
really balance
in the charter.
this.
Yeah. Responsibilities in the charter and responsibilities from state government, and it seems like I'm always in a fight.
Oh gosh, or fighting with yourself.
Fighting with myself, fighting with my colleagues in City Hall. I'm like, can't we all just get along?
Exactly, please. We're all one. Let's.
Yeah.
So I'm stuck on the parking thing.
Yes.
Because I have to know more about this. So are you the person responsible for the people going around giving the tickets?
Yes.
Okay.
Parking tickets, parking meters, several city-owned garages and surface lots, and parking policy, basically.
So this is the most hilarious question I'm going to have because I just have to know. But I always wonder because I use the parking app.
Yes.
And there's different parking apps. There's like one for this place, one for that place.
Right.
I have all of them for
There's
St.
several,
Louis.
right.
And I know, I'm at this parking that place. When I do that, do the parking attendant people know, like, she's got 2 minutes left? Like, do they know that they can come? I keep up on it.
Yeah, so that I'm not sure of because we're in the midst of some changes in our parking software.
Okay.
But they can definitely see on the meter, as the meter is, if it's a single space meter, at that time is dwindling. but I don't know if they
can see it from an app. Like, I always wonder if they were like sitting around looking at the apps going, any minute now, this one's going to go. Let's go check that.
No, they literally are just kind of walking their beat. And, you know, if they pull up the space that you're in and the app says that it's expired, then they'll write the ticket.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, I just had to know. It's one of those weird questions that have been in my head. When you're here, I can ask you.
Yeah, exactly.
So, all right, well, so are you from St. Louis?
Born and raised.
And you have, and your family, right?
Yeah.
Your family. So talk about your family, because your family's been involved in St. Louis. Yes.
So my
Dad.
mother, God rest her soul, never wanted me to be a politician.
No, because she watched your dad?
She watched my dad.
Yeah.
You know, she and my dad were grade school sweethearts.
Really?
Yeah, they've been together since they were 12 years old.
Oh my gosh.
Right. And
that is unusual.
Yeah, exactly. And so she watched his career grow and all of the good and bad that came from it. You know, she was able to experience a lot of great stuff, and then also, you know, towards the end of his career, you know, the pain that goes along with that as well. And so I remember her telling me, this was way before she passed away in 2000, but she was like, don't follow your dad.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
It is a difficult road.
Don't do it. And he actually asked me, you know, are you sure, when I first brought to him that I wanted to do politics. He's like, are you really sure?
You've seen what I've gone through, daughter.
Right. You know how this could end.
Yes.
And I said, no, I'm sure this is really what I want to do. He said, okay, well, I'm with you 200%. Let's go.
But it is, I mean, you know, I know it's got to be a difficult road, and and people can take things and twist things, and you know, when you're in politics, I mean, there's a lot of people that don't want you to look great, and so they will figure out ways to make you not look great. How do you, as a human being, deal with all of that?
Yeah, prayer and alcohol.
Oh, well, there you go. Drinking is always a good idea. But I mean,
but literally prayer. I have, you know, my faith is everything to me, and you know, one of Martin Luther King's less famous statements is, "A lie doesn't last always." So,
yes.
Right. So, you know, they'll tell a whole bunch of lies, but they don't last always. And now with social media, it makes it even worse because people can tag you and lie about you. But I've you know, gotten more mature, you know, because I was more mature as social media came out anyway.
Yes.
I was already in my 30s.
Right.
So I was able to approach it in a different manner. And so it doesn't rule my life like it does everybody else. And then I also keep reminding myself that social media is an echo chamber. And when you think about that echo chamber, and especially of people who vote in that echo chamber,
yes,
it's less than 10%.
Really?
Yes. Third Way did some research on social media users and how many of them are actually voters, and less than 10%
Boy,
of the
they
electorate.
sure the heck are opinionated for not being voters.
Yeah, but they're squeaky wheels.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
Squeaky wheels. And so, you know, I've been able to sort of change my social media settings where all of the noise doesn't get through.
Good.
I thank Jack for, you know, having Jack Dorsey for having the blue check mark.
Yeah, right.
Or because
verified.
Of the blue, right.
Yep.
Because I'm verified, a lot of that stuff doesn't even get to me. It doesn't even get through.
Nice, which has to be good just to keep you sane. I mean, just hearing a bunch of negativity all the time, that's just wearing.
Right, and when they tell you, you know, was it the old adage of words don't hurt?
Yeah.
Right. You know, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. They do.
Words hurt. Words
do.
can create trauma.
They can.
Yeah, I've always thought that was a silly thing to say too.
Yeah, and that was something my mother taught me a long, long ago. But no, they
Words
hurt.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, we are going to take a quick break.
Okay.
We will be right back with Tishaura Jones. That is so true. I've said that all the time. I'm like, words hurt. Words hurt. Really, really. They, ow. You know,
You're right.
Did you just say that to me?
Right.
You know.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Some of those sayings though. My daughter and I were talking about last night. Keep your eyes peeled. We decided that just sounds gross. Like, why is that a thing?
Are you like peeling back your
I don't know.
eyelids?
But you've heard people say, have you ever
Yeah.
heard, like, they're like, well, keep your eyes peeled for you know,
whatever.
a place to eat.
Yeah.
And you're like, ew. I don't want to. That seems yucky.
Right.
No, let's not do that.
Mm-hmm.
Ready when you are, Mr. Sam.
Okay. Here we go.
So we're back with Tishaura Jones. Let's talk about children and savings. And this is such a brilliant, brilliant idea that is also doable.
Yes.
Which I love.
Yes.
Like, those are the best, right? Let's talk about, and that was your talk was about.
Yeah, it was how children's savings can reduce the racial wealth gap.
I love it.
Yeah. So when I got elected treasurer in 2013, I literally did a Google search across the country to see what other treasurers did. And I found Jose Cisneros in San Francisco and Stephanie Neely in Chicago.
Okay.
She's not the treasurer anymore, but I literally looked up their phone numbers and called them up and say, hey, can you tell me how you do this gig?
Good job doing research.
Right,
And I love it.
Right. And they literally gave me, time. Jose gave me about a half hour of his time over the phone. And I actually visited Stephanie in Chicago, and she went and she gave me time. She took me to lunch.
Oh, cool.
And for those two, I'm forever grateful. So I try to be that person to other treasurers as I see them coming along. But Jose started the kindergarten and college children's savings program in San Francisco.
Okay.
And just like San Francisco, St. Louis's program gives a $50 seed account to every kindergartner entering a public school. And we add to it when they and their families do good things. So we match their savings, and we add to it for good attendance and parents' participation in financial education courses. Because it's important for us to reach the family through the child.
Right, exactly.
So research has shown that children with less than $500 saved are 3 times more likely to go to college and 4 times more likely to complete college. And every pre-college dollar saved avoids $2 to $4 in student loans.
Really?
Yes.
Because student loans are like a mortgage.
Right. $1 trillion student loan debt right now. Exactly.
It's scary.
And I am on the horizon. I'm looking at 50, but I'm also looking at finally paying off my student loans.
And then you got to get it for, now you got to pay for your son to go to college.
Oh yeah, we're saving. We are saving.
I'm sure, yeah. But it's so true. It's like,
Yeah.
I remember going to like paying and paying and paying and thinking, I will never get out of this.
Yeah.
And now I'm looking at my daughter going, okay, your turn. Let's go, figure out how we're going to do this.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. And I mean, and there's this thought out there. And I've heard this a lot lately. People saying things like, well, you don't have to go to college. There are other things to do.
Right.
Not that I disagree with that, but I really, really, really want most people to go to college. I think that there's a lot more to it, of course, than just the classes. There's learning how to be independent and studying independently. And I mean, what do you say to people like, oh, college isn't important?
Well, I think it's important for those who choose that as their path, because we've also tailored our program in a way that it's okay if you use the money for college or for other things. So you can use it for 2 or 4 year college, vocational or technical school, even a union apprenticeship.
But education.
Some sort of post-secondary
to educate you
education.
to get to, even if it's like you're going to go work at this company for a while to learn this particular trade or whatever.
Right.
It's the education thing I think is still really important.
Yes. But it's the education along with wealth.
Yes.
Because those two things paired together give children a step up or a chance to, once they have that education, they have a nest egg so they don't come out of college with a whole host of debt.
Right.
Which is what keeps a lot of college graduates from realizing what we call the American dream, like buying a house and building assets because they're paying off tons of student loans. So we're trying to see what we can do to sort of change that trajectory early. Because if a child does everything they're supposed to do in our program, all of the things being equal, they'll have about $3,000 by the time they graduate.
Okay.
And Bob Friedman wrote this book called A Few Thousand Dollars and says a few $1,000s in anybody's life changes their life dramatically.
It's so true.
Yeah.
I mean, even just having a few $1,000s, like immediate money.
Right.
Like, that's what I call, like, this money the just in case money.
Right.
You know, like in
Right.
case you just need it can change everything.
Exactly. And most, most emergencies are like a few $100s, but 4 in 10 Americans don't have less than $500 saved for an emergency.
It seems so scary,
It
and I
does.
think about how many people now, they don't have any kind of retirement because of things that have happened with the economy and what
Right.
have you. I mean, how are we going to take care of all of these baby boomers as they retire? And not all of them are like, oh, I got my 401k and I got my financial guys got me all set up.
Right.
It's like, go work at Walmart.
Right, because Social Security, depending on who you talk to, is going to be insolvent in year 20, fill in the blank.
Right. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do wonder about that because I get
Yeah.
the report, which, I'm like,
Right.
it's not exciting. But,
Right.
maybe it's there. But if it's not there, then what? For how many people?
Mm-hmm.
It hurts my head.
It does. It does.
And this has to really hurt your head. You're in it all the time.
I'm in it all the time. I think one of the things that, a whole host of things that Trump has done, with this administration, but one of the things that he did that really is going to make a difference for just everyday people was he discontinued the MyRA program through the U.S. Treasury Department. And that allowed everyday people to start saving for retirement.
Oh.
And I wrote a white paper along with Ida Rademacher at the Aspen Institute about changing the MyRA program and expanding it to a lifetime savings product that people all over the country could use post-tax dollars for anything starting at birth, and that account just goes along with you throughout your life and turns into a retirement account. First you use the first 18 years, and then you use that for college. Then you get out of college, and then you can use it again for your retirement savings.
Right.
So a lifetime savings account.
And I've never heard of it.
Yeah.
Now I wish I would have known about it, and now it's gone.
Yeah. Hopefully in 2020 things may change and it may come back.
Well, because it's so important for people. I mean, and especially if you grew up in a family that, money is something you need to be educated about how money works, right?
Right.
And so learning how money works is so important. It's like a huge part of our life, and there's so many of us that are not taught that.
Right.
It's
because 50% of us learn our habits from our parents.
Right.
So if grandma or abuela stuffs money in her bosom or in her mattress, we get those lessons.
We think that's what we should do with
it. Or
right.
They're going to the corner store or to the I can't think of the Spanish word for the barrio. Tienda to cash their check and pay their bills.
Yeah.
Then that's what we learn.
Right.
Right. Or if somebody plays the lottery excessively to thinking they're going to make
this
it
is
big.
it. This is where we make it. What do you think of these apps that are out right now? They scare me. The ones that pay you ahead of time for, right? It's like, oh, I'm working today, but I'm not going to get paid for this for 2 weeks. Oh, get the blah, blah, blah app, and your money will be immediately available. I'm like,
those are the new Payday Lenders.
Yes,
those
right?
Are the new Payday
They've
lenders.
taken that to an app.
Yes. What I would prefer is there are also apps that deal directly with employers that let you take a loan off of your paycheck.
Okay.
And then you pay it back over time through your paycheck.
Gotcha.
That is safer. And there are a couple of employers that are using that as an alternative, because better to have your person coming to work.
Right.
Right.
Yes. Right.
And they're going to get a paycheck, so there's a guarantee in the payoff, assuming that the person still stays employed.
Much better choice.
And the interest rate is much lower too.
You youngins out there, don't get that app.
Don't do it.
Don't do that. It's just going to set you on a bad path.
Exactly.
Well, we will take another break, and we will be right back with Tishaura Jones. Thanks for speaking that. Those things were bothering me. I kept seeing that going, oh, that sounds, I get how a young mind can think that sounds like a good idea, but I already know that is trouble.
That's the new Payday Lender.
Oh, yuck.
Mm-hmm.
Yuck. Or it's
That's
like the
fintech
people that
you.
you
Fintech can do some really good things, but it also can wreak havoc.
And then it sets you on a path that just keeps building, where it's like now you've dug a hole and you feel like you can't get out.
Same thing with Payday Lenders. Yeah.
I just don't want them out there.
I know, but Missouri's not ready. They are so not ready.
Missouri. It happens eventually. Stuff gets here. We're the we have to watch till all the coasts do stuff and then decide if it's okay.
Mhm.
When I first started my company with social media, that's what I got. People were like, "Is everybody doing this?" I'm like, "Well, it's not going to go away.
Right.
It's like, it's going to stay." Like, really, it's not just a fad.
No.
Sorry, it's not a fad. Something you have to think about. All right, I am ready.
All right. Here we go.
So we are back with Tishaura Jones, and it's question time.
Yay.
So this is kind of going along with the whole TEDx talk thing, but do you remember the first speech you ever gave?
Wow. Maybe in high school or college. Some sort of group report.
Do you remember feeling comfortable in front of people, or did you have to overcome the stage fright thing?
Very nervous. Yeah. Not visibly nervous, but nervous.
Do you still get stage fright after?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think anybody who speaks in front of people ever gets rid of the butterflies.
I'm comfortable once I get out there.
Yeah.
But at first, like, I'm in the back going, "Ooh, I gotta go in front of the people. I hope I don't look like a dork." I'm thinking of all that kind of stuff. All right. So St. Louis. So you've been here in St. Louis forever. What is your dream for St. Louis?
Oh,
I know there's a lot of dreams, but
but
pick top of mind, most recent. You can have 5 dreams. I don't care, Tishaura. You just tell me.
I would say, and this sort of encapsulates all of my dreams in that your zip code doesn't determine your opportunity, right? I heard this statement the other day that, what people have an abundance of is talent, but we don't have an abundance of opportunity, right?
Right.
So having your zip code not determine your opportunity means that no matter where you live in this region, that you have the same opportunities if you live in the Ville as a child who lives in Clayton or Ladue.
Oh gosh, yes.
And so that means everything's taken care of, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would that's a dream I have as well, because I think it's sad, and we've had so many talks along these lines with TEDx where people have talked about, this zip code, people live an average of 7 years, less, and just a few miles away, this zip code, they're living like, what have you, and the health and the opportunities, and it shouldn't be that way.
Right.
Every human life has value, and we all get to have opportunities. I love it. Thank you for that. So growing up, did you have a favorite cartoon?
I loved Bugs Bunny. That whole series, the Wile E. Coyote, and you always thought that he was going to get the Road Runner, and he always got blown up by the things he ordered from Acme.
Yes, it was always from Acme. You're right.
Yosemite Sam, I loved that whole series.
Oh, hilarious.
Yeah.
So did I. And it was so interesting because, I'm older, right? I grew up in the 60s, 70s, but I tell my daughter now, when I was a kid, we all watched the same cartoons. Yes. On Saturdays, it wasn't like cartoons were all through the week, whatever time they were. After school, there was a set of them. Right. And then on Saturday morning.
3 to 6.
Yeah.
Or 3 to 5 because the news came on at 5. So between 3 to 5,
there
was a little set of them. And then on Saturday mornings from like 9 to noon.
You got them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And we all sat in front of the TV on Saturday mornings. Me and my cousins. I'm an only child, but I had a whole bunch of boy cousins. So we sat in front of the TV with our cereal.
Yeah. You looked so forward to it. It's like Saturday morning cartoons. Yes. Now it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, you get some cartoon. Dial
it up on Netflix or Hulu, whatever.
Oh gosh, I have all the channels. We're just very consumers. You did?
I gave up cable like 5 years ago.
Why?
Part of it was I was moving.
Okay.
And then I said, well, because it was easier not to bring the dish and all of that. And most of the stuff my son was watching was on Netflix or.
So I want to do this. I like this because I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, do I need cable anymore? I really don't watch much on cable. And I was looking into how can I make that switch? Like, should I make that switch? What does that look like? Right. There's actually something called Philo. I don't know if I'm saying it right. PHILO that I just learned about that has a lot of those channels that I actually do watch, like AMC and
Right.
I can't remember what else, but it's like $20 a month.
Yeah, it's an a la carte
Yeah.
approach to.
Yeah, instead of
Yeah.
like the whole. Yeah, so I've been looking, and I think a lot of people are going that way
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because you're it's all app based now.
It's all app based. So we have Netflix. Well, we share Netflix with. We have a family plan with Netflix
Right.
and Hulu, and we have Disney Plus now.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I got that too.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm trying to make sure that I'm not spending on apps what I was spending on my cable bill.
Well, and so right, it all starts to add up
it
after
starts
a while,
to add up
right?
because first you have to have the high speed internet
yep.
connected to the smart TV
Yep.
or to the Fire Stick, and then we
And
have
you're
an
like,
Amazon
Oh,
subscription.
$4.99, $10.99, $14.99, and you don't
And
think about
before
it
you
until
know it,
yep.
Right.
It's
right.
exactly true.
Mhm.
And I did that. So I tend to do at the end of every year, I kind of look at everything and go, where am I just like throwing money out the
Right.
window,
Right.
you know? Because I have a tendency to be like, oh, that looks like a cute subscription box, $10.99. Okay, you know, I'll get that. And then I'm like, what am I doing?
You know, there's an app for that too.
There's an app to make
Yeah.
me not do all that.
You know, or to let you kind of check and see like
Ooh,
what subscriptions
I
you
need
have
that
and which
app.
ones you're
Oh, I think I
using.
did hear about that app.
Yeah.
Do you remember what it's called?
I don't remember.
All right, I'll
but-
look it up.
But
But
there's a subscription fee for that too. So.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being. So, where can people learn more about you?
They can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Tishaura. I have one of those unique names that I was able
Yes.
to find it on all of the platforms. And then I also have a Facebook fan page for Treasurer Tishaura Jones.
Awesome. Thank you so much for all you're doing for us.
Well, thank
We
you for
appreciate
having
it.
me. This was fun.
And everyone out there, keep an eye out for Tishaura. And you can go wherever you see all your podcasts and just be a part of us. We always have interesting and innovative people on. Love you all. Have a great day.